Shalom, Akim, Akiraf, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, Israel. Today is the Sabbath day. We kept the Sabbath from Friday night to Saturday in the morning to the sun go down. That's when the Sabbath is finished. So my name is Prince or Chief of War. I'm here with my brother. And we're in Belize. We're teaching our people once again to repent and come back to the Most High, Yahweh, Yahushua, before it's too late. So the topic we'll be teaching today is the Sabbath. Why should you keep the Sabbath? When the Sabbath? What's so important about the Sabbath? So first we're going to go with the first entity, the first true power that kept the Sabbath. Let's go to Genesis. If you got anything to add in the scripture, bro, bring it out. Now, Genesis, we're going to 2. Yeah, 2 and 1.
Reading out the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on...
He said, thus the heaven and earth were finished, and all the host of them, which is the star, the moon, the planet, the animals, everything that the Most High created was finished. It was done. It was over. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And on the seventh day.
On what?
And on the seventh day.
On the 7 days. Go ahead.
Yahweh ended his work which he had made.
Go ahead.
And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
Go ahead.
And Yahweh blessed the seventh day.
He said, and Yahweh blessed the 7 days. He never blessed the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, and the sixth day. He only blessed one day. So the Sabbath only can come one day. Only one day we come to this creation that he created is blessed. We're not talking about those feast days. Because you got other feast days that's in the 14 days, 15 days, the other month, they're not blessed.
God.
Unless you kept those feast days on that day. Go ahead.
And sanctified it.
And he what?
Sanctified it.
He acknowledged it. He blessed it. Go ahead.
Because that in it he had rested from all his work, which Yahweh created and made.
With the Most High created. He blessed it. He sanctified it. He cleansed it up. So it's a day for us to be cleansed. It's a day for you to get blessed also. It's a day that you worship the Father. You acknowledge that day, which is the Sabbath. Go ahead, what you got now for me, Prince? That's it on that.
Yeah, I got Exodus chapter 20, verse 8.
Let's go to it.
Reading out the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 8.
Go ahead.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
He said, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. That's why he sanctified it. He made it holy. That's why he blessed it. Not every day is a Sabbath day, man. It cannot be. There's only one day that is the Sabbath. It's from Friday night to Saturday morning. And when Saturday comes, the sun come up on Saturday, it's over. So read that again.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
He said, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor.
He said, 6 days thou shalt labor, which is your first day, and you until your 6th day. Go ahead.
And do all thy work.
Go ahead.
But the seventh day.
But the what?
But the seventh day.
Is that 7 days is a plural? No, it's a single. Because that's that day he talked about from Friday night to Saturday. Go ahead.
Is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power.
Is it what?
Is the Sabbath of the Most High thy power.
Go ahead.
In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son.
No son.
Nor thy daughter.
Not your daughter.
Thy manservant.
Not the people that work for you.
Nor thy maidservant.
Even the other people that work for you.
Nor thy cattle.
Even your animals that work for you. If you have a cow, sheep, they're supposed to rest on that day. They're not supposed to be working for you if you have your own business. Go ahead.
Nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
If you have strangers, you can call those strangers the Gentile, or maybe people that's from your neighborhood that's stranger to you. If they want a little job, you got to tell them I can't hire you that day. Because it's a holy day. I hire tomorrow. Or I would rather give you some money but not keeping the Sabbath. Go ahead.
Verse 11. For in 6 days the Most High made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
He said the 6th day the Most High made the heaven and the earth and the sea and all that's in them, and rest on the 7th day. On the 6th day he created, that's when he really finished everything. But on the 7th day, that's when he rests, he blessed it, and he sanctified it. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. He acknowledged it. Con?
That's right?
Yeah, that's on that.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we could do what? Ezekiel chapter 20.
So we're gonna go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Another beautiful Sabbath example.
Verse 10.
When you check the reason why we're into captivity, one of the reasons why the nation is over us, the reason that we lack of money, we lack of wisdom, our relationship is destroying. Our children is not listening to us. We don't have no respect for our mother and our fathers. We're living in the ghetto, the slum. One of the top reasons is because we broke the Sabbath. We walked away from the Most High's law. The Sabbath is the Most High's law from the beginning, from Genesis. So what they have done is say now the Sabbath is Sunday. That's a different class. The so-called Roman Empire has destroyed this world with their philosophy, with their doctrine, with their lies, with the white Jesus that they showing everybody. Even our own people here in Belize celebrate the Sabbath according to the Roman Empire, which is Sunday. And if they all celebrate the Sabbath on a Saturday, Friday night, it's because they're Jehovah's Witnesses
Or 7 days.
or Seventh-day Adventists, which is not in the Bible. So they're still under the Roman Empire influence. Go ahead, Prince.
Read out the book of Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 10. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out the land of Egypt, and brought them into the wilderness.
And the Most High took us out of Egypt, when the children of Israel, to what? To the wilderness. Look what he did.
Verse 11. And I gave them my statute,
My statue, go ahead.
and showed them my judgments.
Show them what he gonna do to them if they sin, and if you do the right thing too. Go ahead.
Which if a man do, he shall even live in them.
The Most High say, if you do my statute, you're gonna live in them. I'm gonna make you above all nation.
Come.
But we choose to do otherwise. You gonna have to pay. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths.
You give them what?
My Sabbaths,
Go ahead.
to be a sign between me and
You
them.
heard what the Most High said? His statute is a sign between you and the Father and you. It's very important for you to keep the Sabbath because it bring you health. It bring you health. It make you look good. It make you feel good. It's a day that you rest your body also. Your body get a break. Your spirit get a break. Your eyes, your nose, your feet, everything get a break from it. Because this is a spiritual thing, because the Most High sanctified us. If it's sanctified, it's by holy. The Most High said, worship me because I'm what? I am holy.
Can't be separate.
Go ahead.
That they might know that I am the Most High that sanctified them.
Nah, you
12. And moreover, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Most High that sanctified them.
Go ahead, he sanctified. One second, go ahead.
Verse 13. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness.
The children of Israel, the black, Hispanic, the Native Indians, the brothers and sisters that's here in Peru, Venezuela, Colombia, Haiti, Jamaica, the islands, the so-called African American, they broke the Sabbath. Go ahead.
They walked not in my statutes, and they despise my judgment. Which if a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them.
And that's what happened. That's what happened. Since you didn't keep it in the wilderness, the Most High put that fire upon y'all.
He said they greatly polluted them.
And they violated. They violated the Sabbath. They didn't even acknowledge it. They did every wrong thing on the Sabbath. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, that was that one.
So go ahead. Let's go.
We could go to what? Jeremiah 17 and 20.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Right? 17 and 20. Jeremiah 17.
Once again, what we're teaching according to the Bible. The Black and Hispanic, the Native Indians, the so-called Puerto Rican, Colombians, our brothers and sisters that native into Belize, other places in the Caribbeans, what we teaching that we are the real people of the Bible. We're the chosen people of the Bible. We're the sons and daughters of Jacob, who later on fought the angel called Israel. We are the sons of the Israelites. The people who they say are the Jews that live in Israel, they are not the real Jews. That was a move that they made for 1948 for the so-called America. The British can have how you call that building? Like a middleman, let's say that, a middleman to watch anybody in the Middle East. It was a move that they made so they could put them out there to watch everybody, all the other Arabs. It was a move that the British made with America, but they didn't understand prophecy. See, prophecy will always prevail. Man will always fail.
Go ahead. Read not the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 21.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Most High, take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem.
Now, remind you, at this time, Jeremiah was at Jerusalem. With Ezekiel, he was still at Jerusalem. He was telling what happened in the past. So sometime in this book is about the past, the present, and the future. Right now, we're in the future. We're in the future, to be honest with you, because we live in the last day. So what Jeremiah is telling the people right now is what? You sin right here, right now. And that's why we're going to be teaching. We're going to still tell people about the Sabbath, that you have to keep the Sabbath. I took a walk earlier. Everybody and their mama selling stuff. Everybody. Go ahead.
Verse 22. Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day. Neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the Sabbath day, as I had commanded your fathers.
So the Most High said, in your house, don't do no hard work, man. If you got to pick up that bed, pick it up tonight. Unless it's an emergency. You suppose you have 6 days to do that. Don't bring no work in your house. Keep my Sabbath. The Most High said, my work are easy. My law are simple.
Come.
We make it hard.
Come.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. But they obeyed not, neither inclined their ear, but made their necks stiff, that they might not hear, nor receive instruction.
And that's what they did. They got harder and harder. They didn't listen to the Father. They walked the other way. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And it shall come to pass, if ye diligently hearken unto me, saith the Most High, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but hallow the Sabbath day to do no work therein.
Go ahead.
Then shall there enter into the gates of this city kings and princes sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses. They and their princes, the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city shall remain forever.
The Most High say, if you keep my Sabbath, it's not, the other laws in there too, but he's speaking of the Sabbath. He say, if you do that, I'm going to pass your kings to the next king, to the next king. You're going to be riding on your chariot. In other words, you're going to be high again. The people are going to respect you. The other nation is going to respect you. You're going to stay in that city forever. But it ain't do it. They went in captivity under Nebuchadnezzar. Learn a little bit of history. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And they shall come from the cities of Judah, and from the places about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the south, bringing burnt offerings, and sacrifices, and meat offerings, and incense, and bringing sacrifices of praise unto the house of the Most High. Verse 27. But if ye will not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day,
Go ahead.
and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched.
And our fire was Nebuchadnezzar. Before, when Nebuchadnezzar came, it destroyed the palace. It destroyed Jerusalem. They break everything. That was that fire. That fire represented the burden that the Most High was going to bring to the children of Israel for disobeying his law. The other fire was what? Nebuchadnezzar and his army.
Isaiah 58 and 13.
Go ahead. Take them people open their window and close it, so we're going to be a little faster. But all last night, I was playing music, nobody said nothing.
58 verse 13.
Go ahead.
If thou should turn away, read not the book of Isaiah 58 verse 13. If thou should turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, 58 and 13. Reading from Isaiah 58 verse 13. If thou shalt turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Most High, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I can find I'm in Belize right now. They got the most beautiful water right now, and it's a beautiful day. I can go right into the beach, snorkeling, fishing. You know, I can anything right now is a beautiful day. It's not even that hot today. But now I have to keep the Sabbath. I can do that tomorrow.
Not doing your finding thine own pleasure.
Because that's my own pleasure. And a lot of times brothers talk about sex too. You cannot have sex on the Sabbath.
Forget it.
That's your own pleasure.
He goes even further. Nor speaking thine own words. Not even speaking your own words.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a righteous communication.
Can't.
We're supposed to keep your mom, the word of the Most High. We're supposed to be dealing with this book. Later on, I'm going to show you what is he talking about. But read that again.
From top.
Yeah.
Verse Isaiah chapter 58 verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day.
On my holy day, he calling the Sabbath his holy day. It's a holy day. Go ahead.
And call the Sabbath a delight.
A delight, nice.
And the holy of the Most High honorable.
So the Sabbath is an honorable day. Go ahead.
And shall honor him.
You pray the Most High. Go ahead.
Not doing thine own ways.
Not doing your own thing on the Sabbath. Go ahead.
Nor finding thy own pleasure.
Nor find your own pleasure.
Nor speaking thine own words.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Most High, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places
Here we
of
go
the
again.
earth.
The Most High said, I'm going to put you in high places on the earth. You don't have your own army. You don't have your own nation. You don't have your own money. Belize don't have their own money. They got a white woman on the money. They don't have, that's not their own money. They don't have their own money. It's a white woman on the money. Go ahead.
And feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Most High had spoken it.
And that's what's going to happen. The Most High going to feed you what he promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Your own land, your own money, your own cattle, your own children. You will not hate yourself. You will not want to put glue in your head. Let's go to 56. 56 got something too. You talk about the Sabbath too. But here we're talking about the stranger. We're not dealing with the stranger. We're not dealing with the stranger. 56 got the Sabbath too, so let's go to the next one.
Acts chapter 13, verse 14.
Go ahead. No, if you want to say something, Prince, say something.
I'm just reading from 13, verse 14.
Go ahead.
Read not the book of Acts chapter 13, verse 14.
First started from verse 1.
Verse 1. Read not the book of Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger.
That was called nigger. Hebrew Israelite. It was certain church and teachers and prophets. Nobody can be prophet but the children of Israel. Let's get that together. Go ahead.
And Lucius of Cyrene.
Well, Israelite, go ahead.
And Manian, which had been brought up Herod the Tetrarch and Saul.
Go ahead.
As verse 2, as they ministered to the Most High and fasted, the Holy Ghost said, separate me, Barnabas and Saul, for the work whereunto I have called them.
So to let you know that they was doing the work of the Most High, they was teaching. But let's see what happened next. We're dealing with the Sabbath. Jump to verse 13.
Verse 13. Now when Paul and his company loosed from Paphos, they came to Persia and Pamphylia, and John departing from them returned to Jerusalem. Verse 14. But when they departed from Persia, they came to Antioch in Pisidia and went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and sat down.
What they did?
Went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and sat down.
On the Sabbath day, they went to the synagogue and sat down. What did they do in there? Did they play video games? Did they was playing cards? Or they were doing their own thing? No. They opened the book of the law. That's what they were doing, teaching the Most High's word.
Verse 15.
Verse 15, go ahead.
And after the reading of the law and the prophets.
You heard that? It was reading of the law and the prophet. They was teaching about the Sabbath. They was telling the story about the Sabbath, the law of the Sabbath, the prophet that kept the Sabbath, the people that didn't kept the Sabbath. What happened if you choose to keep it? What happened if you choose not to keep it? Go ahead.
Sent unto them, saying, ye men and brethren, if ye have any word of exhortation for the people, say on.
All right. Go ahead.
Then Paul stood up and beckoning with his hand said, men of Israel.
Men of the Gentiles.
Men of Israel.
Men of Israel. Go ahead.
And ye that fear Yahweh, give audience.
So he was talking to them in Israel and the people that scared of the Most High. We're not going to stick too much about that. Where we jump into, Prince?
You want the next one? We're going to go where we read.
I think look, this is going to verse
41. No, but that was good.
Nah, this is well, we can go to. We're not dealing with the Gentile. We're not dealing with the Gentile scripture today, but we're going to read 42.
Read out the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 42. And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue,
Go ahead.
the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath.
My point is, we're not dealing with the Gentiles. That's not the topic. The next Sabbath, they went right back in the temple and teach again. They didn't say the next day.
No,
They
said
said
the next Sabbath.
The next Sabbath. Go ahead.
Verse 43. Now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious Protestants followed Paul and Barnabas, who speaking to them persuaded them to continue in the grace of Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Verse 44. And the next Sabbath they came almost the whole city together to hear the word of Yahweh.
The next Sabbath came. The whole city went to listen to when? When the Sabbath. Because that was the time that they opened this book of the law. And read you what happened in Genesis, in Exodus, Luke, Jeremiah, the book of Malachi, the book of Ezra.
The next verse is actually good.
Yeah.
Verse 45. But when the Jews saw the multitude, they were filled with envy and spake against those things which were being spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming. Show you, they don't want us to gather and congregate on the Sabbath thing. They know what it means.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
All right. Can I pass it?
Now you can have. Yes.
Okay.
So let's go to another.
What it was Luke, what, 4?
Yeah, it was looking for. No, it's 4 and 6. Luke chapter 4 verse 6.
Verse 14.
It's okay.
Luke 14.
Now we were just dealing with Paul and Barnabas and John and Simeon keeping the Sabbath. We dealt with Jeremiah, we dealt with the Mosai, we dealt with Ezekiel. Now we're gonna deal with the man himself, see if he kept the Sabbath. Who y'all call Jesus Christ? Where we at, please?
St. Luke chapter 4 verse 14.
Go ahead.
And Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about.
Go ahead.
Verse 15, and he taught in their synagogues,
He
being
taught
glorified in their synagogue,
He was teaching in the synagogue. Go ahead.
being glorified of all.
Go ahead.
Verse 16, and he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
What?
On the Sabbath day.
To do what?
And stood up to read.
That was his custom. Because why? Because Christ is an Israelite. He's from the tribe of Judah. He's what you call a Jew. Since he was a little boy, he grew up going to temple every Saturday in the synagogue. That was his custom. So if that was his custom, it had to be my custom. Because I'm also a Hebrew Israelite. So if the master himself acknowledged why he in the flesh, he also acknowledged why he was in the spirit. How dare you not keep the Sabbath? How dare you? That's because your mind's into the Roman Catholic Church. That's it, Prince?
Yeah, that's it. 6. You know, you have to 19.
Yeah, but we're not gonna finish tonight. We're gonna go. That's on something else. 17.
That's it. Okay, now I could give you a couple more. I got a couple more I could give.
Yeah.
Like things you're allowed to do and not do on the Sabbath
Yeah.
day. And let's go to Exodus 35 verse 3.
I ain't gonna stay with you. I got you, brother. People walking around, the lady closed the window. You know, she had the window open, she closed the window, so I didn't want to make too much noise here.
Exodus chapter 35 verse 3. Certain things you're allowed to do and not do on
That's the
Sabbath
scripture.
day.
Yeah, all praises.
A lot of us profane the Sabbath day and we don't even know we're doing it. So I'll give a law. This is actually a law about the Sabbath right here. Read now the book of Exodus chapter 35 verse 3. Ye shall kindle.
Start from verse 1.
Verse 1, okay. And read the book of Exodus chapter 35 verse 1 from the top. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together.
All the children of Israel, go ahead.
Together and said unto them, these are the words which the Most High had commanded, that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done.
6 days that work be done, go ahead.
But on the 7th day there shall be no slacking. But on the seventh day there shall be to you a holy
A
day,
holy day. This is a holy day. Once again, go ahead.
a Sabbath of
A
rest
Sabbath of rest. Go
to
ahead.
the Most High.
To the Most High. Go ahead.
Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
So in other words, if you don't acknowledge that, the Most High can put you to death for that. Right now, we're in spiritual death. That's the reason why we're so stupid and dumb. It's a spiritual death. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire toward your habitation on the Sabbath day.
In other words, you're not supposed to burn nothing, cook nothing. No fire on the Sabbath day. That's how serious the Sabbath day is to the Most High. That's the reason why the Most High gives women breast. You know, if you got little children, you can get them milk from your breast.
Come.
That's the reason why he let you stay in the house so you can cover yourself. He said if it's too cold. You gotta build your house a little better.
One more scripture I want to read concerning something that's we're allowed to do or not allowed to do on the Sabbath day.
So we only are here to bring the knowledge of truth here in Belize and across the world.
And this is another thing. Read not the book of Nehemiah.
Nehemiah, hold up. Yeah, you can read it.
Chapter 10, verse 31. I got two Nehemiah scriptures. And it says, and if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we should not buy it of them
Read
on
right
the
again.
Sabbath. Nehemiah 10 and 31. I'll bring it over.
Go ahead.
Read not the book of Nehemiah chapter 10, 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell,
If you're trying to sell mango, fish, your tools, things for cars, microphone, houses, a plane, whatever to make money on the Sabbath, the Most High say, if that's what you're trying to do on the Sabbath, because you have 6 days to sell them, go ahead.
that we should not buy it of them on the
They
Sabbath.
say don't buy them. Like today, I take a walk, I saw them selling fish. I didn't buy no fish. You know, I walk around trying to know the neighborhood because I'm visiting Belize. I walked there, they was making some good barbecue chicken, man. I told them one time they gonna close, they said at 2. I said, man, the sun don't go down to 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm not gonna have no fried chicken or I don't think it was barbecue chicken. They were selling, so I cannot buy on the Sabbath. I have to respect the Most High day. Go ahead.
It said, we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day.
Go ahead.
And that we should, that's about it on that. And that we should leave the 7th year and extraction of every debt.
So the Most High, Jeremiah was telling the Israelites when they went back to from captivity, he was saying, don't buy on the Sabbath. If people are selling, don't pay them no mind. Because they want your money, they will come back the next day. That's a fact. They want your money.
I got one more in the book of Nehemiah 2, chapter 13.
Go ahead.
We're going to read verse 20 and 21. It says,
Book of Nehemiah?
Yeah, Nehemiah
You say 20?
30,
Okay.
verse 20 and 21. And touching on that same buying and selling on the Sabbath again. Read out the book of Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 20. So the merchants...
The merchant is doing that sell,
Right.
vegetables, salad, and stuff like that.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
Go ahead.
Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye